It's an iconic cinematic scene. In A Christmas Story, the old man Mr. Parker wins a contest and is pleased to receive a leg lamp as his prize. He connects the lamp into an electrical socket and hangs it in the front window of the house. It's indescribably lovely. It reminds me of the 4th of July, the patriarch of the family sobs in the film scene. Please turn out all the lights. I'd like to see how it looks from the street. Mr. Parker dashes out his front door and onto the sidewalk on the other side of the street. Neighbors stop to see what he's looking at as he stands there appreciating his new purchase. Mike Kukral, a Rockaway Beach resident, was one of the witnesses. Kukral, then 22, was home from college for the holidays and searching for some part-time work during the break. I was looking for work, Kukral explained. I used to deliver things for UPS, but I didn't have anything lined up this time. Kukral remembered seeing a small ad in the Cleveland newspaper. It said, "Extras wanted for major motion feature being shot in downtown Cleveland. Must be available 24 hours a day," recalls Kukral. And I was willing to do it. Kukral responded to the post and began working as an extra on a downtown Cleveland film set. While working, I had no idea what the title of the film was. I had no idea who was in it, Kukral explained. Kukral discovered he had appeared in A Christmas Story after it was released in 1983. Throughout the film, he and his family's 1937 automobile appear in sequences such as the city Christmas parade. They'd close the streets at 1 a.m. and decorate the streets, Kukral explained. They'd start the entire parade around 3 a.m. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen. Bands were performing. It seemed strange, but I suppose this was how it worked. I'd never witnessed a movie being made before. While Kukral claimed that the majority of his time was spent standing outside waiting, he did make his film debut. "There's one moment that I'm clearly in," Kukral stated. It was a frigid winter night in a West Side neighborhood at a property they had purchased to utilize. Darren McGavin, Mr. Parker/the old man, bolts from the residence. It was the scenario with the leg lamp. It was sitting in the window. We saw it and wondered, what is this movie about? According to Kukral, the sequence was originally shot with only Mr. Parker admiring the leg lamp from outside his residence. They filmed him coming out of the house and into the street 38 times, Kukral added. After all of those takes, one of the directors grabbed 5 extras and told them to approach the old man and pretend to see what he's looking at. It was a lot of fun, Kukral added. They filmed it that way once and used that sequence, and I'm in it. Kukral, dressed in a cap and a long overcoat, can be seen behind the old man. We believed it was going to be a pretty bad movie. It will probably never be released or completed since it looked dreadful, Kukral joked. Us extras, who were hanging around talking all the time, we thought this was a poor movie because of all these cheap props, but those were all these dream sequences. It amazes me that it has become such a popular film and some people's favorite. Every night, Kukral was paid the minimal rate of $3.50 per hour in cash. When asked if he had lately seen the 2022 sequel A Christmas Story Christmas, Kukral said yes. I was pleasantly pleased by how much I enjoyed it, he remarked. I liked it. It was great fun. Kukral did not seek out other film parts, although this was hardly his final connection to Hollywood. Kukral received his Ph.D. in geography from the University of Kentucky after earning degrees in geography, environmental science, and political science from Ohio University. In 1989-90, he was a Fulbright scholar in Prague, where he participated in the Velvet Revolution. I wanted to go abroad to do research as a geographer, Kukral explained. I had a desire to visit Czechoslovakia. Going behind the Iron Curtain seemed so foreign to me. Kukral had to maintain strong contacts with the U.S. Embassy as a Fulbright scholar sponsored by the federal government. His employer at the time was Ambassador Shirley Temple Black. She met with us on multiple occasions, Kukral said. She was going to remember our names. She was a highly intelligent person, you could see how she could achieve things in the movies. Kukral, one of just 3 American students in Prague, was invited to several events with Temple, including a 4th of July party at her home and a movie outing. She sat right next to me at the movies, Kukral joked. She slept for the most of the movie. She awoke with the thought, that was a bad movie, it was just boring. Based on his time as a student in Czechoslovakia, Columbia University released his book Prague 1989, Theater of Revolution in 1997. His book is the only narrative of the Velvet Revolution written by an American. Kukral then went on to teach geography for 30 years at Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology in Terre Haute, Indiana. In 2017, Kukral was approached by Hollywood once more and asked to be a film consultant and extra in the film My Friend Dahmer. The film is based on the graphic novel of the same name by cartoonist John Durf Backdorf and tells the story of American serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. Backdorf and Kukral were classmates of Dahmer at Revere High School. In school, we all knew him. I recall coming to his house when I was a kid. I still know his father and younger brother, Kukral added. No one suspected anything negative about him. He was just as goofy as the rest of us in middle school. With the recent release of Dahmer-themed crime dramas, Kukral has been interviewed for a variety of news outlets, including a recent BBC podcast. He will always be there in the back of our minds with the folks who grew up with him and went to school with him, Kukral added. Kukral retired in September and moved to Rockaway Beach to live full-time. Kukral first became aware of the place when his college classmate married in Pacific City 25 years ago. I traveled all over the coast thinking, this is a really lovely region of the nation, and someday I'd really love to live here, Kukral explained. His friend got him a house that satisfied both of his requirements. He wanted to be able to walk to the beach and see the mountains. Kukral now plays in a local ukulele band and hopes to start substitute teaching soon. For more information, please subscribe to my channel.